I'm Vinny. Today we're going to be making brownies. First step is that we need to wash our hands. So, we need to wash our hands for 20 seconds because that's the proper time. First thing when washing your hands is that you need to get in every crease and corner so that your hands are properly washed. You can either wash your hands for birthday stop or for 20 seconds. Then, you need to dry your hands with proper care. Now, so the first thing on our baking instructions says that we need to set the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which you can see that we have done. Now, the ingredients that I'm going to be using is oil, vegetable oil, which I chose to do, 2 eggs, water, and most importantly, our brownie mix. And later on, once we pour brownie mix in the pan, we're going to sprinkle our special ingredients, which is our caramels and our espresso chocolate chips. And the tools we're going to be using: liquid measuring cups, a whisk, rubber spatula, a mixing bowl, and a greased pan. The reason why we grease the pan is so that the brownies don't stick on. Now, another tool we're going to be using is toothpicks to check to see if the brownies are done. And one of the most important tools here is the oven mitts, because when you go into the oven, you don't want to burn yourself. So first, I'm going to open this brownie box, if it will open. Take the bag out. Then I grab my trusty scissors, cut it open. Hold the bag and take off the scissors. Pour in the brownie mix. Now, I'm not going to leave this trash on the counter, so I'm going to throw it out. Now, I'm going to get my vegetable oil, and it says right here, 2/3 cup of oil. So, on this container, right there's the 2/3. So, I'm going to go in at the angle and start pouring until it reaches there. And right there is 2/3. So now I'm going to pour it in. Then it says that I need 1/4 cup of water. My bigger liquid measuring cup doesn't have 1/4, so I'm going to be going in and using the 1/4 cup right there. Coming over here, going at an angle. And 1/4. It's at 1/4 right there. So now we're going to pour it in. Then we're going to use our eggs. But an important thing you need to understand is that you don't just crack it into the bowl. You need to separate it so that eggshells don't go into your food. I'm gonna crack. See if there's any eggshells. No, there's not any eggshells. I'm gonna throw that out. Grab my other egg. And in that one, there's no shells as well. So now, I'm going to pour my 2 eggs in with the rest of the ingredients. Now, I'm going to mix. And I'm going to mix until all the ingredients are blended together. And it should take around 50 strokes, but I'm not going to rely on the box. I'm going to do it until there's no batter, like brownie batter left, to see, and to make sure there's no chunks. Because you don't want your brownie all chunky. And if you need to, you can tip your mixing bowl slightly so you have better control over the mix. And I'm going to bang my mixer whisk off the edge, grab my rubber spatula, go on the edges of here, get all the all of it off, well, some of it off, so that as hard as I try. And that's good. Now I'm going to put this in the sink. And I'm not going to lick it because raw eggs is not healthy for you.
Move that closer to you.
Then I'm going to pour my ingredients into the bowl.
Your batter there.
My batter. I'm going to scrape it out. So, I'm going to keep taking this out as much as I can so that I can have as much brownies as possible. Then I'm going to put this in the sink. Now, as I told you earlier, we have our special ingredient that we're going to add on the top. So, I'm going to grab a handful of these, pour it on the top. And I'm going to keep doing that until most of it's covered. I'm going to keep doing that So I've covered most of it. I'm gonna add a little bit more there. Now, I'm going to keep my sleeves rolled up, put on my oven mitts, and I'm gonna have two. I'm gonna have my mom supervise me because I'd rather not get burnt.
And I'm gonna open the oven.
And I'm going to open the oven. So now, I'm going to put it in carefully.
Good job. Close it.
Have it in there.
And then,
Now, we're going to wait for 28 to 31 minutes. I'm going to check it 5 minutes before 31 minutes, so that just to check. And if they're not done, I'll put them back in. See you then.